I'm Carly Steele here at South by Southwest in partnership with Kinolime, talking to some of the festival's top storytellers all about their filmmaking process and how they broke into the industry. Let's make movies together.
Hi, my name is Kit Zauhar. I am the writer-director and one of the actors in my second feature, This Closeness, which is having its world premiere at South by in the Narrative Spotlight section.
Amazing. First off, like, you look like you're, 15 years old. Like, you're so young to be, like, just your second feature.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, my God, do I now feel like an underachiever. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so tell me about the process of getting this from script to screen, since you are part of all of those areas.
Yeah, I mean, when I was kind of touring my first feature on the festival circuit, I already had this idea in mind, and it all takes place in one apartment. So it could have been shot during COVID, and I was just trying to find people who are interested who would make it very much an indie film for an indie budget. It's just a lot of trial and error, sending your script to people who are like, I love your writing, but like the next one. And then finally I found these two EPs, Rhiannon Jones and Tristan Scott Behrens, who from Neon Heart Productions, who did Shiva Baby, and they came on board, and it just kind of went from there. Yeah, and I'm half Asian. That's probably why I look so young. And
whatever you're doing, yes.
And I think I want to make roles for biracial people and show the world through like my very specific POV. So it's always been kind of important for me to act in it, and I think just you become a better actor by directing, and you become a better director by acting. So like, why not do all of it in confluence if you have that rare chance?
100.
Yeah,
totally agree with that. I think your experience with the script is super interesting because Kinolime, what's really cool about it, and for me as a screenwriter too, I love this idea, is it democratizes and gives transparency to this process of like trying to get your script made. What's cool about you is you can make the film, you can be in it, but there's a lot of people who are writers and they're just writers. That's what they want to do. And they don't have the context. They don't have the chutzpah you did to send it out. Or maybe they did, but they didn't have that success. And so from a writer's perspective, how cool do you think it is to have a platform where you can submit your script, people can read it and vote, like the audience can vote on which script should be made, and then the ones that are winning can actually get made? Like, how cool is that? Like, how much better would that make things for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's people say the year of the Nepo baby,
Yes.
right? And so they don't have the same democratization of talent that like we kind of need in the industry. I'm not to throw it out there lightly, but I'm a young woman of color who doesn't come from money or like a film background, film family, and so for me it's like I always want to just see films made by like a vast and diverse array of different individuals, and so I'm sure something like this would help that come to fruition.
Different and unique voices that you can find diamonds in the rough, which is really cool.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge for you in getting your film made?
I mean, I think it's always sort of like money, unfortunately. It's one location, and so there weren't like a ton of logistical nightmares. But just, I think it's always about, having enough to make the crew and cast feel supported, and like there's the time to explore and play, because like making films is just sort of like a more elegant form of like play for adults. So I think that was, consistently the challenge, but it's an indie film, and so, we were able to work within limited means pretty easily.
What do you hope audiences will take away from your movie?
I don't know. There was this pretty like dark review. They liked the movie that someone wrote, but it made them sort of like question a lot about modern life and like relationships in modern life. And I thought, I think that's what I like writing about. How do we continue to sort of find humanity as life gets more and more complicated, and society does as well. But yeah, I hope people walk away with questions and like reflections on how maybe they can do a better job to connect with others.
Being here, your film is showing at South by Southwest, one of the most prestigious film festivals in the world. Essentially, a lot of people will look at you and be like, she's made it. So what advice do you have for people who look to you or inspired by you or inspired to follow your journey? What would you say to them?
I mean, it's cheesy, but I think like keep going. Like you're not going to be able to do anything if you stop
Yeah.
working. But if you continue, eventually something just has to happen. Like statistically, if you just every day wake up and try to do something, eventually something will happen.
Yes.
And so I think, when people give the advice of like, just keep pushing forward, it's sort of like,
Hustle.
yeah, it feels a little bit like, okay, but why? But like really the reason is because, also every day like someone else is going to stop and give up. And then that's like, you've kind of moved ahead more and more. And just, yeah, I think just keep working on it. I think also, even though, I'm at South by for film, find inspiration from other mediums, from the world around you, because it's kind of easy to get, I don't know, tunnel vision, but as soon as you open yourself up and your mind back up to other narratives and ways of storytelling, I think it crystallizes what you want to do within film.
Lastly, ChatGPT has been a big hot topic among the writer and filmmaker community at the moment. How do you feel about it? What are your feelings about the AI?
Well, I mean, it's kind of going to happen whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's easy to say that like this stuff is really scary, and it is. But also, I've tried to use ChatGPT for a few things, and honestly, I found like that my ideas were still the ones that I stuck with even after going through with that process. So yeah, I don't know. The future is like scary and unknowable. So I just try to approach it one day at a time.
I think that's the right approach. Well, listen, thank you for hanging out with us here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your
so
film
much.
and all your success, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Thanks.